Hello, this is Crow Centru. Unfortunately, I got some news today, and not all of it's good. So I can't invite you to the Let's Play, because we're going to stop it, and I'm going to explain why, but it's not all bad news. But I'm going to start with the bad news so we can end on a more positive note. So, here's the deal. I should not have promised to go through Nightmare Mode. However, I'm a new Let's Player, I made a mistake. I didn't realize how bad it was. Specifically, I didn't realize how much the live commentary messes it up. This last level I've been over roughly a dozen times. It's about 10-15 minutes each try before I fail, just average. Sometimes faster. And there's always something like, it's always about forgetfulness is what it comes down to. I'm getting distracted, and I cannot concentrate enough to do the mission. I got a great strategy, I can't do it. If you want a strategy for it, apparently there's a bunch of these Nightmare Mode ones that were done by a guy called Fried Egg, and he seems to be consistently pretty good. So if you need some help, that's a good way to go. So the reason I'm stopping, first of all, I'm doing this for fun, and it is extremely frustrating at this point. It's not fun anymore. And if I'm going to be playing a game, it needs to be fun. When I do these Let's Plays, I'm doing it to have fun and to interact with people. You're not going to see me having a good time. In fact, you're probably not even going to get Let's Plays if I'm too frustrated to do them. So I really want to keep things going, and so I'm going to go ahead and call it an end to this. So you've already seen on this one the whole basic game. So I'm going to go ahead and go into my profiles. So I've been doing the Let's Play profile, but I also have Kroll Center. Now you'll notice the same level. That's only because... Whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay. Volume. I didn't realize that the volume was only for your specific profile. Okay, let's not do that. But anyways, that one is on like one of the last levels in the game. And trying to 5-skull it. And I got frustrated and quit, and that was without having the extra work of the Let's Play. So I have done a ton of effort in trying to make this work, but unfortunately it's not going to work. So on the other hand, we did get some good accomplishments. We got the game finished, we got the downloadable content finished, and enough of Nightmare Modes that you can see what it's like. And that you can get an idea it's not for everyone, apparently. Alright, so moving on. Got to move on to the future. I've been doing as a secondary Let's Play, Red Faction Guerrilla. That is now going to be the primary Let's Play. So I'm doing 2 at a time, so that if I have a lot of trouble, or if I'm getting really bored or whatever, I can take a break from the one I'm working on, and work on videos for the second one, and if I've got no videos left for the primary, then I'll start uploading videos for the secondary. At least that's kind of the idea I'm running with. Now, on Red Faction Guerrilla, to explain for those of you who don't know what it is basically a first-person shooter that is based on guerrilla warfare on Mars. A little bit futuristic, not super futuristic, but definitely got some futuristic stuff going on there. And basically, you go around, you demolish buildings. It is a fully destructible environment as far as buildings go. The ground is invincible, admittedly, but you know, vehicles. You got vehicular combat, driving around, trying to escape, all that kind of stuff. It's actually a pretty fun game. And the worst of it is that there's a little bit of blood. Usually it looks like red paint. It took me a long time to realize it's not this pinkish paint on my guy. I got splattered in blood. Seriously, it's that unrealistic, which is good for me. And it does occasionally have the F word in it, so if you don't like that, well, yeah. But on the other hand, most people are probably going to be okay with it, and it's a really fun game, and you can see some real chaos and just having a good laugh more than anything else. I'm running on the easy mode because I know there's some parts that are a lot harder than the rest of the game, where the difficulty spikes, and in order to do as much as I can, I'm keeping on the easy setting so that I don't have, you know, something like this. This Let's Play. That was the whole idea, is that it wouldn't get bad. There are some transporter missions I may not be able to beat. I'm certainly not going for pro times because the transporter missions may have been better on the console, but it's a port from the console to the PC. I'm doing it on the PC, all my games right now, so that's not going to work out. Anyways, that's basically like a racing mission where you grab a vehicle, you run off with, not really run off with it, but drive it back to a safe spot. And you have a certain time frame, and usually the time frames are pretty brutal. Not always, some of them are easy, and so I'm going to do the ones I can. There's one in particular I may only run once, but most of them I'm going to try to at least give it a few shots, and if it's really a bad time, I may cut it off. But if it's reasonable, I want to try to do them. Just not pro times. Most of the rest I'll be able to do pro times. Even the Demolitions Masters, I should be able to get pro times on most, if not all of them. I've done it in the past, just, you know, can I do it while doing commentary? That's a different story, apparently. Alright, so moving on, the game after that's going to be my new secondary, is Warlock Master of the Arcane. So, just to give you an idea, Warlock Master of the Arcane is a turn-based strategy game, very different from what I've been running. The theme of all three games that I've been running is that they're all diamonds in the rough. They're all something else I might call a cult classic. Oh, by the way, something I found out, I didn't think Orcs would have that many people making videos for it, so I guess I got a lot of competition in this one. I guess it's a lot more popular than I thought, but still, not everyone knows about it. In fact, a lot of people don't. Red Faction Guerrilla is different from all the other Red Faction games, very different. They all have destructible environment, but they don't actually turn it into the main core mechanic. Or, I guess main and core is kind of redundant. But anyways, the core mechanic is the destruction that you do of enemy territory type thing for Red Faction Guerrilla, whereas the other it's just an extra little thing that's kind of more tagged on in most of it. They did a better job with Red Faction Armageddon, but I didn't like that game so much. Red Faction Guerrilla is very different, very open. Anyways, but on the other hand, Warlock Master King is another one of those. It's an indie game. It is not well known as a result. It is very high quality. It's medieval fantasy, high fantasy. Got some really fun stuff. Like the undead have flying ghost ships. I love those things. Undead are one of your 4 playable races. I'm using downloadable content. I've really had a fun time. My plan is to run the first time through on impossible difficulty because I have beaten this game on impossible difficulty several times. And I've gotten really good at it. I can do it easily. So if I can do it easily, then I can do it with a Let's Play and still pull it off. I won't do it easily, I'm sure, because it's, you know, commentary. But anyways, it should be a lot more fun, but it's a very different approach, and so you get to see a very different side, a more strategic side than I've been able to show off in any of these games, much slower pace. I'm going to try to share some of the fun of the story that they mix in, and I've got some plans to run through it basically in my usual way, on the hardest setting, but using my best tactics, the ones that are easiest for me to beat, which is what they call a Unity spell victory, where you research spells until you got none left, and then they give you their Unity spell. It takes forever, then you cast it, takes forever, and can be counterspell, but if you pull it off, you win the game. Kind of like Civilization had this technological victory, and Alpha Centauri did as well. Anyways, but it's a really fun game, and hopefully you'll be able to enjoy that too. And then, as far as that goes, there is one last thing that I want to bring up as far as the future goes, and that is City of Heroes. City of Heroes is an MMORPG that was specifically it was the first superhero MMO. We've got a bunch of them now, but it was the first, and it is still the best. Unfortunately, it was shut down. So Cryptic Studios made the game. They moved on to make other games and sold off the rights to the game to NCSoft. A bunch of people stayed behind as sort of a subsidiary group in NCSoft to continue development on the game, and they became Paragon Studios. However, at some point we had some real garbage hit. I don't really have time to go over it, but basically they claimed that we were losing too many people when they weren't. People were like, dude, these servers are packed. No, this is not. We're not losing people. There's something else going on. Well, it turns out it was. The reason they shut it down is because of basically corporate BS, where they were trying to... They bought the game for $8 million. They're making $8 million a year. They tried to sell it for $80 million, 10 times what they bought it for, and only got offers as high as $40 million, so they turned everything down. And someone went, wait. They're claiming they're only making $4 million a year, so if I buy the stocks, I can buy this for $2 million. So they thought they'd do a hostile takeover. But they decided to do it through Kickstarter, which is kind of overt and easy to spot. So in order to prevent the game being basically taken from them, they simply shut down that entire company and fired off over 100 people. I'm not too happy about that. A lot of us aren't. However, there is a group of people, and there's people trying to make a new version. There's actually a specific group that have been trying to negotiate to buy the rights to host the game and not still be attached, hopefully, to NCSoft. They have been in negotiations for years, so I'll be honest, it may not ever come out of negotiations. It may just fail. If it does succeed, I will run an MMO, excuse me, it is an MMO for G, but my brain's jumping around. I'm going to run a Let's Play of it. It's my highest priority because it is my absolute favorite game. Hopefully I'll fix some things out by then. So, moving on. This is my first Let's Play. I have to admit, I did not like the audio quality. Primarily, I had a lot of trouble with the... I'll go ahead and open this up since we got nothing else to do right here. I'm going to show you the settings right now. This is where my settings are at. Normally my sound is up to about here, and this is it. I cannot put the voice higher than the other stuff. The music's down so you can hear it, and I cannot put it any further down without it turning off, literally. The sound, on the other hand, was so that you could still hear like the voices and stuff over me a little bit, so that you might be able to do something with it. But unfortunately, that's the best I could pull. It's a little bit better with Red Faction Gorilla. It is a little bit difficult. I have not been able to make the audio work the way I want. I do not have skills in editing, so I'm still learning that stuff. But I felt that the Let's Play itself was working well. As far as the game goes, I do like a lot about it. I love their approach to the sort of tower defense style game. I love all the traps. I do like tactics like that. I feel that the fast-paced action sometimes reduces my ability to enact my tactics, and that's what I don't like, but that's a personal thing. What I really don't like, the only thing I would have to say that I don't like about this game is the combination of the difficulty, number one. You cannot upgrade everything unless you get 5 skulls, your max rating, on everything, including Nightmare Mode, which is why I wanted to do Nightmare Mode, is to earn more skulls. That's the only reason, honestly, or else I would have just stopped without it. And, you know, I just feel that the average player shouldn't have to do Nightmare Mode. It should be optional for those who are hardcore, not for, you know, average Joe like me. And probably a lot of other people. That being said, the other thing is the Cobalt Sappers were not really a fair fight. Let me give an example as an opposition. Cobalt Sappers are designed to destroy your barricades. Frost Ogres are designed to counter your Ice Amulet. However, if you have a group of Frost Ogres and you use the Ice Amulet, you can't touch the Frost Ogres with it, but you can still freeze other people, like Null Hunters. So for example, in the last downloadable content, we had a ton of those guys, the Frost Ogres, and I used it on the Null Hunters and also on the Hellbats, which take a lot of damage from it. That is the kind of thing that I feel where I still get to use my Ice Amulet, but just not on a specific enemy. Kobolds were nice and fast, and so you had to remember that they could run past your traps if you're not careful. And so that was a fair fight, because you could still catch them in traps. But the barricades, if you had Cobalt Sappers, they took out the barricades, and at that point no one was affected by your barricades, because they're gone. And that was not fair. And what was the bigger issue for me is that even like this last level, it's the sludge pit, something I've done so many times. I've looked up other strategies. I got a good strategy. It should work, but it requires setting down barricades with Cobalt Sappers in the level and then memorizing what waves they are in order to stop the Sappers. And that is not okay to me, because if I have to memorize when the Cobalt Sappers are coming, that means that I can't do this the first time through. That's not okay. That means basically we're running against an unfair challenge. I shouldn't lose the first time and have to memorize these things like that. That's guaranteed failure is never okay by me. Now, other people have their own decisions, but to me, if you're going to work your butt off and have something really hard and frustrating, go get a job, make some money. It'll be a lot better, because at least you know you're doing something. You're not really accomplishing things by beating a super hard game. But on the other hand, there was a lot of fun. It is a very hilarious game. I love a lot of the things that are said by the Orcs and by our War Mage, who's just hilarious. Man, that guy he's dumb as a brick and yet brilliant at the same time. It's weird. It's just funny. I love it. I love the story that they've managed to fit into a game that was otherwise pretty simple. I love all the wonderful traps. There's just some really cool stuff in here. I love all the extra tricks you can do, the strategies. The variety of enemies is fantastic. I do feel that it was a really enjoyable experience going through War Mage difficulty, just not Nightmare, not for me. I didn't so much like the downloadable content because we didn't have story anymore, which is a big thing for me, and it was much harder, but that's okay. And it wouldn't have been as hard if I wasn't doing Let's Play Sodom out, honestly. Regardless, I think we're up to about 14 minutes. My nice recording program gives me a little thing that shows me the frames per second, just running close to 60, and also the time left. So we're at 14 minutes and 17 seconds now, and I was already moved on. But anyways, so I'm just trying to give you an idea. I also wanted to go over my thoughts on being a Let's Player. I've never done this before. It's my very first Let's Play, and I should mention today is let's see, it'll be June 9th of 2015. If everything goes according to plan, and it really does, I would guess this next Saturday is going to be my upload time, and today is Tuesday, for this particular video. And then we're going to be doing a lot of Red Faction Guerrilla. I've already got up to, I think, roughly 30 videos recorded, but a lot of those are not uploaded because of the upload time. It takes usually about 2 to 5 hours per video, depending on how things are going. Some days I just got like jack for internet connection with them. And this is based on upload speed, which is usually a lot slower than your download speed, unfortunately, for those of us who need an upload speed. But, you know, you do what you can. You do what you can. So, that being said, it is good. We're doing well. I think this has been a really fun experience. I think that my audio quality may have been bad, and I don't really have a lot of the same skills. Like, I don't have anything flashy in the front of my video. That's okay. I'm just having fun with it, and that's the point, is I'm having fun with it. I'm getting to play my games sort of one last time, be able to enjoy them, and just kind of kick back, talk to you guys, and I hope you enjoy all of this. I'm going to continue to make these videos for a good time to come. I've got some other ideas, and it's taking long enough to upload these things. It'll take me a while to record this anyways. Not so much record as upload. Really, that's the slowdown. I do not have a capture card, or else I've got some videos I would probably end up making of some of the older games, like Legend of Zelda Link to the Past is a good option for me. It's short, admittedly. If you know the secrets, it's pretty short. But it's fun. I've beaten it without dying a few times now. I've even beaten it a couple of times without having any saves. One of those times, I'll admit, I was using the Wii function to save my progress without saving it through the game, which meant I didn't actually count save and quit. So, yeah, I cheated. But anyways, it's still a fun game. And there's some cool tricks you can pull if you're going for that kind of run. Anyways, though, it is a lot of fun. There's a lot of good stuff out there that I'm hoping to be able to run in the future, especially if City of Heroes comes back. Oh man, I played that game for so long. I probably spent a good $700 to $900. I figured out in monthly payments, downloadable content. That's it, honestly, just that. I loved it. It was such a great game, and I hope I'll be able to share it with you someday, but you never know whether these things will come through. Usually they don't, but this one's got a lot more power to it. There's really some high chance of success. I'm really hoping for the best, but we'll see what happens. And I'm hoping to continue with this. I think I've done okay at my commentary. I do think that I've got the attention span of a gnat, and that's normal. I've got ADD, and I've also got another condition that's being treated by a medicine. It's pretty serious stuff that's being treated. And it makes my ADD a lot worse, though. That's the side effect. And even though it goes from mild ADD to severe, I'm just going to have to live with it, because it's still a lot better than the consequences that I'm dealing with otherwise. Lots of pain, lots, especially when trying to sleep, and that's not going to work. I don't need to be up all night in pain. But hey, you know, you deal with life. Life comes, you deal with it, etc. Anyways, so, that being said, yeah, I hope you all have a fun time. Sheesh, I don't even know where to go from here. I think I actually wrapped it up. What do you know? Anyways, this has been Kroll Centro. This is the end of Orcs Must Die. I really wish I could continue it. I really do. And I guess from here, we're going to move on to Red Faction Guerrilla as a primary. Secondary will be starting up eventually. I'll probably record in a while, and then a few weeks maybe within. And then start, when I have an opportunity, uploading Warlock Master of the Arcane, and if City of Heroes ever comes around, that's my maximum priority. But, you know, it'll happen if it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. We'll see. Oh, and actually, I don't even know what the places you can find City of Heroes little information on for whether it's coming out or not. Whoops. Anyways, I was going to mention, but I can't remember it. You can Google it. That's how I found it. You have to dig around in some forums that really get much information. But I think that's it. So, hope you've enjoyed it, and I will see you in Red Faction Guerrilla. Which, by the way, even the last video that I recorded is like a month and a half, 2 months old. So, it's gonna be a while before it catches up to the current news. But anyways, I'll see you. Have a good day.